Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. And what a day. What a day to talk about markets. This is our first official market check with a new administration in office. You already know we're going to have a lot to say about that later today on this show. But I'm Tommy. You guys also know me as Snorlax. I'm joined by Max, Louis Tuesday, and of course, Unbothered Chef Jackus. Welcome to you guys as well. I hope everybody has had a phenomenal start to the week. I know that we were not live yesterday, but that certainly does not mean that yesterday was not an eventful day. If for nothing else, signaling a transition into a much more crypto-friendly administration. It's kind of wild, actually. I just realized we haven't been live since all of the funny business and shenanigans that occurred over the weekend. So we really do have quite a bit to talk about today. You got the president of the United States launching a meme coin, buying shit coins, and of course, accumulating a ton of Bitcoin and ETH. What does this mean for the coins going forward? Is this the ultimate top signal, or of course, is this kind of the headline that leads to further expansion from this asset class? We're going to answer those questions today, guys. But before we can do that, you already know what I'm going to ask you. This is our first time seeing you this week. I'm sure you're also pretty revved up after the last few days in the cryptocurrency market. So if you guys can smash that like button for us, we would be very, very appreciative today. Let's run it up to 400 or 500 likes, maybe even 470 likes. That would be the that would be a good goal to hit in honor of the 47th president of the United States. But not to yap for too long about that, guys. I think really the question on kind of everybody's mind is, yes, we have a very crypto-friendly president, and yes, over the weekend he launched his very own meme coin. He's been accumulating tens, I think maybe even like 9 figures worth of crypto digital assets. This is very unprecedented waters, right? Did he just signal to effectively everybody that was sitting on the sidelines, on the fence, maybe a little bit afraid to enter the space? Hey, we're not going to regulate it in the same way as the last administration. We might even encourage it going forward. With things such as a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Maybe we have other things coming down the pipe as well. ETF issuers already taking, the onus to start filing some pretty speculative ETFs. I even saw a bonk ETF hit the tape this morning. So yeah, we've had quite an interesting last 72 hours of headlines. I think the long-term implications of what we're seeing is overwhelmingly positive, though, overwhelmingly bullish. I mean, how often do you see literally an acting president? We are quite literally in unprecedented waters right now, uncharted territory. We are going to feel it out with you guys. But right now, I think we're just kind of waiting and seeing what's going to be that first pro-crypto headline to drop from this administration, and when. Because I think you have Bitcoin teasing price discovery once again, consolidating kind of around $100,000 to $110,000 per coin. And if it does enter price discovery, what does that mean for some of these other coins? What catalysts are coming down the road for these coins? I mean, I could ask these hypothetical questions all day, but I want to talk about it today. I want to talk about that. And of course, I want to talk about the charts. On a lower time frame, the last 24 to 48 hours have been a complete meat grinder, for one. I mean, I was just kind of looking at the the carnage of the last few days. They really wanted to slaughter any and all perp traders yesterday. And so if that was you, I'm sorry, for one. But I think it is a good moment to zoom out, look at the implications of what's happening around you. And this is the most positive crypto environment I can remember probably ever. So yeah, we are in unprecedented territory, uncharted waters. I'd love to talk about it with you guys today. Maybe our expectations, predictions, and then of course all the charts in between. But how are we doing, guys? What are we seeing in the markets?
I feel like we have woken up to a completely new world since we were last on the show.
I kind of agree with you, Jackus. It's something's different, right? The good guys are back in control, man. We've been under fire. I was talking to our Discord this morning about it. for the past 4 years, more than that really, but 4 years, it's been nothing besides like the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs and then some minor like accounting changes, which were more favorable for, companies to market the value of their assets on their balance sheet. We've really just had like negative headline after negative headline after negative headline. Like, sorry, my camera's getting the sun. At this time of day, the sun always peeks through like the worst part. All right, let's just do that. We've just had like so much negativity, and this asset class has been completely under fire. And it's like we've been navigating it since. And I mean, the Friday before the 47th president, DJT, takes office, he launches a shitcoin, right? I mean, this is in a way, it was like a short term kind of like black swan it was on chain 9/11. Okay. You will remember where you were when Trump launched his shitcoin on an illiquid weekend session. And it was a liquidity vacuum for every other shitcoin, right? Everything bled into Trump. And president or not, it was the most successful meme coin launch of all time. Like without question, not even close. And what the future for it holds, I don't know. I own a big bag of it, risk free. I took my initials out. I'm just going to hold it because who the hell knows? I don't really care, but I feel like I have to have some exposure to it. Just why not? I mean, this is craziness. But I think what you saw over the weekend, in my opinion, was like a final capitulatory liquidity drain, black swan for on-chain altcoins, leading into a completely new environment, which I am pretty optimistic about, for our bags. And, I mean, I had the World Liberty Fi Ethereum wallet on alerts, and I was watching the inauguration yesterday, at 11 a.m. to noon EST. And that wallet was shoving Ethereum while Trump was getting ready to go up there and put his hand on the Bible and be sworn in, right? So the question you have to ask yourself while looking at this Ethereum chart right here is the following. Do you really think that the first pro-crypto, not just pro-Bitcoin or free market president, pro-crypto, pro-shitcoin president was buying the complacency shoulder of Ethereum right as he's about to be sworn into office? Do you think that the president is about to take drawdown on his fresh Ethereum bags? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. So, can we chop a little bit more? Sure. This price action should be illegal. Who's ever responsible for this should go to jail. It's awful. However, the precedent that this sets with the 47th president of the United States not launching one but two shitcoins and then shoving, he owns like almost 60,000 ETH. Not dollars, notional, like 60,000 spot ETH. And he was buying it right here in this range. So it's like, do you really think that like you're going to fade the president? We've never seen anything like this before. Like why do you think that like the president buying ETH and a random CT analyst calling for the top every 5 minutes on a local liquidity grab on a liquid weekend session with literal on-chain carnage going on because of the president launching his shitcoin? Why do you think that on-chain, CT analyst trading a $5,000 account is going to fade the president and be right? Does that make any type of sense? I don't think it does. I think Trump has ushered in a new era of crime, and he's opened the door to basically a free-for-all on-chain. So, I don't know. What I see is a bullish compression, and I see the president's entry price at around 3,300. That's what I see.
Do we just put a horizontal at Trump's entry price?
Yeah, it's like the new sailor entry. I don't know exactly what his entry is, but it's probably in the low, 3,000 to 3,300 somewhere, give or take.
It's right in the middle of that cluster volatility.
This was wherever it is, whether it's at the range high or the range low, it doesn't matter. This is Trump's entry right here. So you're seeing a bullish compression of, Ethereum with the president who just bought 60,000 ETH in this range, around these prices, and he just took office yesterday. And a few days before that, he launched 2 shit coins. And you're bearish.
He's about to
Help
take
me
names.
understand
cannot-
this, please.
I cannot
help me
wait.
understand it. That makes you the biggest bucko. That you are the mayor of Buckville. Okay, that's what you are. The mayor of Bucktown. You're Bucko. Lord Bucko, Dr. Bucko, Bucko PhD. That's you.
I cannot wait for the day when the World Liberty Fi will be like, the World Liberty Fund acquired another 10,000 ETH at an average price of $10,000. We now hold fucking 200,000 ETH.
Dude, we have Sailor turbo bidding Bitcoin and we have Trump turbo bidding ETH. What more do you want? Well, if that can't send us to the moon, literally nothing will, right? You cannot script a more bullish catalyst. You can't. Tell me someone, and I'm not even trying to be a jerk here. Like, tell me what I'm missing here, you know? So like I'm genuinely asking, like, what am I missing?
Aliens.
Oh, you mean demons? Ah.
Aliens bidding ETH now.
But we're not
That's
ready
what
to talk
needs
about
to
that.
happen.
We're not ready to talk about the demon aliens yet. But
No, I don't think we are.
yeah, Tucker's not here.
Okay.
Only the smooth brains are ready for that, man. But that's fine.
Yeah, like how do we know that they're not going to follow the Michael Saylor playbook and just do it on ETH, right? Like they've seen Michael Saylor basically put out kind of a strategy over the last 4 or 5 years that's been proven to work, right? So who knows if they're not going to follow that exact same playbook or just continuously.
I can hear Tommy's inner thoughts while you're saying proven to work. I can hear him.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was very clear. Well, there was a lot of narratives getting thrown around because the Trump meme coin was launched on Sol, right? So obviously there was a huge vacuum. Like Max said, a lot of people panic selling their ETH and their ETH tokens to run over to buy Sol, or obviously just the Trump token itself. And that caused a sell-off on ETH, right? And ETH tokens, and they literally just probably took the liquidity or took at least some profits from whatever meme coins they launched on Sol, and they turned around and they bought ETH with it. They pretty much farmed Sol to scoop up and accumulate a massive position in ETH. Like, that's hysterical, right? That's playing chess, not checkers. This was premeditated, and they're putting on a clinic here, in my opinion, and it's coming at a perfect time. So
it definitely feels like we saw a sentimental capitulation over the weekend on ETH, right? I mean, obviously shitcoins puked for the reasons that you guys stated. Liquidity got pulled out of pretty much everything to pump Trump's meme coin. But I mean, ETHs are literally crashing out on the timeline. Everybody's talking about how Sol is going to dominate ETH forever, and maybe Sol continues to dominate ETH, right? But at least from the standpoint that ETH is just going to sit there and do nothing, I kind of feel like we've hit a very critical inflection point, where finally the people who have believed in the technology that is Ethereum for as long as they have, they can't take it anymore. The fact that the president of the United States launched a meme coin on Solana was exactly reflective of kind of like a year plus worth of their fears that Sol was catching up to them, that people only want a shitcoin. And then lo and behold, you've got the president of the United States the whole time scooping up ETH and really partaking on both networks. So I think it's kind of now or never for ETH, given what we have seen from a sentimental standpoint. The takes I saw this morning were pretty hilarious, because I will say we are finally seeing the most smug ETH bulls begin to capitulate. Vitalik kind of crashing out low key. Zach XBT launching a meme coin and then rugging it, but we'll talk about that at another
Wait,
time.
did he launch it?
He didn't launch it. He was given a lot of the supply and he sold it. But
wow, what a I never liked
How much
that
did he
guy.
make on it?
I never
I think
liked
he
that
made
guy.
like 3 or 4 million. So
No way.
it is a new era that we have walked into.
I've always said that
think
guy was
Jack
a
has
wolf.
had it perfectly. It's like we woke up to a different world than the last time we hosted Market Check.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. Like, and if you think about it, like, there is just so much that has happened over the past few days that has more than has happened before, pretty much. Like in like 2 months or something, or like maybe even longer.
Dude, that's crazy that
always
Zach
knew that
XP.
guy.
Well, like, I don't even blame him. That's the thing, is like someone just sent him
Eh,
tokens.
he's made a
and-
career out of trying to expose people for selling stuff into profits. Like, I mean,
I don't
obviously,
think it's selling stuff into profits. I think it's like grifting, and like
Like,
stealing.
with
I wouldn't
Murad,
say that
he was
he
like, "Oh,
like
look at all these
stole
wallets. Look at how
anything.
much supply he has."
Like they sent him shit, and he was just
No,
like,
he didn't
"You just
steal
launched
anything,
this
but-
using my name. I'm putting an end to this, and I'm making money. Fuck you guys." I don't really blame him, honestly. To be fair, I didn't
Yeah.
do that with the one that they made for me. Like they made a token for me, and I just diamond handed that thing because I was like, I don't want, like, although I didn't want that and I didn't sign off on it, and they never talked to me about it. They just did it and grifted off of me. I was like, someone definitely bought this in like support of me, and I don't want that person to lose money because of me. If they lose it by doing it and someone else fucks them, I can't control that. But yeah, maybe he should have held it. I don't know. But either way, kind of entertaining, right?
I think, I mean, I've never been that big of a fan of Zach personally. I've always said that. I felt like he just kind of looked over or glanced over some things that his friends would do, but that's beside the point. I think what really this is indicative of is that, it's like you said, there is crime occurring on the blockchain now. And I guess Zach, like many other people in crypto, everyone has a price. And I guess that he found his. Whether or not he did anything wrong, I'm sure people would dispute and argue. But a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't think you would have seen Zach XBT pulling that liquidity.
I think maybe he was having like a wake up call in a way where, okay, here's the thing. Crime in crypto is bullish, right? And his whole business or like platform has been built off of like exposing crime, and it's been awful stuff. And I think the work he does is really like valuable. But at the same time, if you get too deep into that, like it's all a scam, I'm sad, it's all a scam, I'm happy, he probably hasn't even like been compensated or really made any money because he's just spent all of his time like exposing the worst of the worst instead of trying to find the bullish crime. If he had used his skills to find bullish crime instead of bearish crime, he'd probably be a gorillionaire because the guy's very talented. So
I don't think it's about being a gorillionaire for him, because he just like enjoys what he's doing, I think.
Probably.
But I agree. Otherwise, like, I agree that he would definitely, like, that's the hard part. Like, you can always make more money just by scamming, right? But can you look yourself in the mirror later on? That's why you see lots of these people not overcome it later on. Like, they enjoy it for a year or two, and then their life becomes empty. They live with this guilt lots of the time.
Well, you get one reputation. You get thousands of opportunities to make money, but you have one reputation. And people never forget, right? So it's like you have to participate in crypto, but you also have to do your absolute best to maintain that reputation. And it's not hard to do, right? You can't please everybody, but it's like, a lot of these guys, what they do is they just every 2 weeks they have a new shill. And they like to play dumb, like they don't recognize their impact when they tweet about it. So they get like a free allocation, and then they tweet about it, and then it pumps, and then the thing dumps, and then they stop tweeting about it, and then it gets turbo nuked to the ground, and they're like, well, I told everyone to take profits in my Telegram channel, you know, and it's like, dude, like you made like 500K in a week and like everyone else lost money. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know? And they like
There's
to
a
play dumb
whole-
too, but then people, you know, then they lose their punching power. You know, then the next time they want to talk about something, it doesn't go well. No one trusts them. And then eventually they just kind of fizzle out and become irrelevant. We see it all the time, right? It's like the most common fate of these KOLs, right? But it's like that funny saying, it's I don't fear the man. I fear the man that shills 10,000 tokens. Or I don't fear the man that shills 10,000 tokens. I fear the man that shills one token 10,000 times. That's a man not to be reckoned with. That's a deadly individual. The man that can stay committed and shill his token 10,000 times. Work for his bag, you know.
Preach.
You just basically summarized one of the side plots of Squid Games 2. I don't know if you knew that, Max. I don't know if you've seen it, but
you just spoiled the
there's
whole
a-
show for me, bro. That's unbelievable. I was gonna watch
there's a
it tonight.
shitcoin. There's a shitcoin deployer, and he's like, "I told you guys to sell. You were up lots of multiples," and of course they didn't sell, and they wanted to try and kill him in the game, but I'll leave it to you to find out whether or not they did.
Yeah, I still gotta watch it. I liked the first season.
The second one left on quite the cliffhanger, I will say.
So there's gonna
I'm
be
excited
season
for the
3.
third season.
Okay.
Yes.
So guys, I have this little horizontal line drawn on my ETH BTC chart. I have the 2021 ETH BTC bull run horizontal line, the point of origin that kicked off the ETH BTC run last cycle. We have swept it. We have entirely given back, puked all gains from the last bull market, a complete cyclical reset and utter emasculation in a humiliating form of the Ethereum asset versus the Bitcoin asset. Do we think, should we just do our daily is the bottom in on ETH-BTC roundtable, or what do we want to do here?
Let me take a look at Bitcoin D before I answer that question.
Okay, let's pull it up.
I mean,
Complacency.
I think it's in. Yeah, I think the bottom's in on ETH BTC, but a strategic Bitcoin reserve could definitely put in a wick on ETH Bitcoin. That if it were to be put in, I think that would definitely be the ETH BTC low. I'm more inclined to call top on Bitcoin dominance because I think the structure looks worse than ETH Bitcoin looks good, if that makes sense. I think this is complacency on Bitcoin dominance. A strategic Bitcoin reserve is kind of the perfect catalyst to top Bitcoin dominance, if you ask me.
Do you guys think we get ETH strategic reserve?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's called World Liberty Fi, bro.
No, that's just Trump's aping institution. I'm talking about million ETH.
I don't think so, but that would be insane.
That would be.
I mean, what do we think about this? Like last cycle, we had like one final sweep of the high on Bitcoin dominance. I imagine a strategic Bitcoin reserve or even just like an aggressive Bitcoin breakout here to like, 120 might cause that to happen. But I don't think that would be bearish for alts. I just think it would be like Bitcoin rips so hard that like nothing can keep up with it. And then alts have a turbo bid underneath them. So I'm open to something like this, even though it's a complacency shoulder, I think. But I think you kind of have to be okay with this. But it wouldn't be bearish for alts. It'd be bullish. It would just be like more bullish for Bitcoin very temporarily.
I think so too. And like I said, I mean, a strategic Bitcoin reserve, when that gets announced, everybody is going to be telling themselves, and rightfully so, right? Like Bitcoin is why we're here. Bitcoin is why we're here, no matter what happens with altcoins. Let me say that. But, everybody's going to be thinking Bitcoin cycle, Bitcoin cycle. Bitcoin's going to outperform altcoins forever because, the US government is going to be announcing that they're probably going to be buying Bitcoin. And that's, I think, a perfect, at least, if you're like selling the news, it's kind of the perfect spot for an altcoin rotation to begin. It won't be immediate, right? It won't be a week after the strategic Bitcoin reserve. You just see altcoins all hitting all-time highs. It's going to be in the months that follow that. But I think sentimentally, and we've talked about this with the dollar as well, we're already seeing the dollar top since Trump entered office. These are kind of like de facto sell the news events potentially shaping up over a longer time frame that will be important here in the first half of this year.
Yeah, without question, I totally agree.
One thing that came across my mind before when you guys spoken about how like Trump, how like East Maxis are, always about like the tech and all of that, and they are hoping for something great to happen on its platform, and then Trump comes in finally and he launches on Solana. I was like thinking of the meme like, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
You mean like with the girl and the cat?
Yeah.
I mean, it really was like that. The weekend sentiment on ETH because of how Trump launched his meme coin on Sol. I don't think you could have a more kind of capitulatory climax in ETH sentiment and ETH holder emasculation than that, right? I don't know what could possibly get worse for ETH than that.
It is true that ETH is the most bullied coin right now in the whole space. Like, there are obviously few, but nobody cares about those. But people still care about ETH. But it's the most bullied one. It used to be XRP, but now it's ETH for sure.
Yeah, look how that
Do
ended.
you think that Vitalik is just like beside himself right now? Like just hates showing up for work? Or do you think he doesn't care?
I think like the last few days tell me he's kind of reaching his limit too. So pump your coin, Russian man.
Wait, what did it make you feel that way, Tommy?
Just some of his tweets lately. I mean, he bought him a lady to appeal to that cult. He was kind of crashing out.
Wait. Max, how do you feel about that?
No comment.
No, yeah, I need
If I
comment.
speak, I'm in trouble.
All right. Go on, Tommy.
Crashing out on Twitter today, talking about how he gets final say in, who's working for the Ethereum Foundation and all that other stuff. So no, I think he's hit his limit as well. But I think it's like a good balance of toxicity that you're seeing between the community and the founder. Like that's usually what you see at bottoms. If not now, then
never.
Maybe never. But I think the context is good for a bottom here on ETH sentiment.
It's got to be, man. It just can't get much worse,
Open up the ETH BTC chart, guys. Open up the ETH BTC chart.
If you insist.
It surely must be now. Surely not another low. Boom, another low.
But I mean, imagine this, right? Like, imagine, like we come here.
I'm still skeptical this makes a new high, but like 0.05 ETH BTC, definitely doable. And that alone would reprice ETH pretty significantly higher.
Well, what about like this, Tommy? What about like even retesting the point of control of this whole region? Like, could I interest you in this level? Perhaps, sir?
Maybe. I could be interested.
My
bags would be interested, but I don't know if myself as an analyst can quite get on board with that yet. But hey, I am looking for a move higher on ETH Bitcoin. At least some reversion north makes sense.
I mean, this seems like we got a lot of highs in here.
We see that too, Max, but crime has been done.
Dude, whoever did this to the ETH chart, like, you're an asshole, man. Like, you are an asshole. Like, who did this?
Well,
this is insane.
I have to say that it seems as every time ETH has tried to get off the floor and make a move, it seems as if the ETH Foundation itself is what's been suppressing the price. It seems like every time, like I look on Twitter when ETH rolls over, I see another tweet saying that the ETH Foundation sold more ETH. So I think there's something else going on under the hood that we don't know about. Because at this point, this is not, this is artificial, right? This is purposeful suppression for a reason, whether, they had to make an agreement to, for ETH to thrive, in a US crypto market, but they got to sell off for a certain amount. So let other people get bids filled. I don't know. There's definitely something else going on. This doesn't seem natural, in my opinion. And again, the ETH Foundation just keeps dumping on everybody. So, who approves those? How does that happen? I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Have you guys looked into that at all?
It's an open market OTC deal. It's like, listen, we're gonna send this market, but we need to position ourselves first. So we will start buying like crazy, and ETH Foundation starts selling to suppress the price so that they still have time. ETH Foundation sells to Trump. They make a position, but keeping the price low, so they do not have to buy at high prices. And then later on, ETH Foundation stops selling. Trump is positioned. Market flies. They announce maybe even a burn or something,
right?
Because they have enough liquidity for the next period to function.
Beautiful.
I like that chart, Max.
That's kind of what I was getting at, but you said it way better than I did. So, yeah, it seems like if there's something else going on, and the evidence of that is ETH Foundation continuously selling over the last couple months.
Right? They just have so many ethers to sell.
Yeah,
I wouldn't overcomplicate this too much. There has been so many bears who tried to convince me with their retarded logic that Larry purchasing spot ETFs is bearish. They really tried. I think all of those arguments were pretty stupid, and now we know that price is way higher. I think this is going to be the same with ETH. There is no way this is bearish. But
yeah, you're telling me before you're telling me before BlackRock was ready to go into the public market with an ETH ETF. You're telling me they didn't get Vitalik in a room and be like, "Yo, we're gonna launch a product, but you're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z and check all these boxes and do what we say. We'll launch an ETH ETF." You're telling me they had no discussion with Vitalik beforehand before putting something to offer a product that's that could potentially damage.
Louis, do you know what happened? Trump came to Vitalik's office and said, "Look at me, I'm the captain now."
Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I'm getting at here. Vitalik's definitely not innocent in this situation. There's no way.
Dude, he just needs to start. I mean, dude, not talking price, but bull posting, man. The most bullish thing he could do for ETH is if he shoved $1 million into Pepe. That would pump ETH, bro. Because that sets the tone. Let's shitcoin. You guys like Sol so much. Watch this. He needs to do, because bro, think about this. Every time people send him a shitcoin, he market dumps it. That's his thing. You know how lame that is? Why not even just hold it? You're literally just discouraging all of the activity that's gonna pump your L1.
Yeah.
That's such a stupid move, bro.
That's showing
he gets faith in your own shit coins, immediately dumps on communities that are bullish on ETH, Yeah. He's the antithesis of pumping your bags,
If he at least maybe burned it, but he's market dumping it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's a Jeet, bro. Vitalik is a Jeet.
Regards.
Yeah. Vitalik sends his regards.
My favorite moment from the last bull market maybe was when he rugged SHIB, basically. They sent him 50% of the supply at the start, and he just market dumped it at the top of the first SHIB run in May of 2021. Some don't remember that, but he is literally the reason for that SHIB rugged 90% the first time, destroyed the parabola. But conspiracy theory. It was all planned. The SHIB pump was an Ethereum Foundation insider scam. So,
well, dude, the Ethereum Foundation needs to get back to their roots of being criminals. Like,
how do you know they're not
Yeah.
actively in the process of doing that with another meme coin, a more amphibian based meme coin?
could it be PP?
It could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this chart is just pathetic, bro. Like I can't even try. I've tried for so long to defend it, but like, this is insane, bro. This is literally insane. I cannot believe this. There's not even any like good fake outs here, bro. Like, they didn't even like this right here. They should have at least sent this up like fake breakout and then broke it, but like they couldn't even do that. Like, they couldn't even fake us out, really. You know, just like
Exactly.
Thanksgiving turkey level stuffing, man. This is just every single pop stuff. I've never seen a trend that looks like this in all my years of crypto. I've never seen this. I've seen things rug, but like this, it literally looks like someone owned 10% of the supply and 4 years ago started a TWAP. And it's
It
been
always
running ever since.
is going to look like that.
Foundation?
Right?
Yeah.
Could it be?
Reversion will happen quickly on this pair, always. I don't know quite how high it will go at any given point, but I do think we're getting close to one of those times where we should see a squeeze on ETH BTC again. Just otherwise ETH BTC is literally going to like back to zero, which I don't think that it is, given the president's buying, but it's a tough look at that chart. It really is. What does some of these SOL pairs look like? I like the look of Total, though, I will say.
Total looks good here. Yeah, Total looks really good. Like, I love this little fake breakdown where we retested the previous all-time high. Oops. Like, I need to go to the daily. So
I
previous
don't know
cycle
why
all-time high.
TradingView does that. Do you guys know? Like, why are like anything below daily time frame has different wicks than anything
I don't
above the
know.
daily?
I can't figure it out. I have no idea.
Yeah. If anyone knows, let us know.
But I do like how Total looks here. Nice fake breakdown, reclaim. I don't know. We could pump, man. It feels like the market's waiting for a headline or something like that. I can't put my finger on it, but it just feels like we're coiled and we're like building here.
It does. Got to see some double bottoms here from things like Pepe, Sol, ETH.
Let's look at Sol ETH. Oh my
God.
This looks like
Everyone said Sol ETH was cooked at the lows.
I still have no clarity on this chart. I
Oh
feel
my
even more uncomfortable now.
That's crazy.
What
Sol
about Sol
Bitcoin
BTC? Oh
looking
no.
even more like the ETH fractal, low key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still am not ready to be like convicted either way, just because I can't fucking unsee this, man.
I mean, you can't really predict, right? Like, this is the thing when people say that every market move is manipulated. You just can't predict, like, Trump launching a meme coin on a Saturday night. Like, you can't do that unless you're an insider that knows it a few days ahead. You
And
just
there were.
can't. And there
There's
were.
people too, yeah.
But you can't predict that.
I mean, this is hard to watch.
Sol's next.
I'm not fudding Sol again, guys. I'm just a technical analyst. That's all that I am.
Technical analyzer.
And I just still can't unsee this.
Yeah.
I'm not quite so bearish on Sol BTC, but
if this chart on the left keeps going up, I know what these people will be saying. Like, that's so unfair. That is so unfair. Why always me?
It could, bro, because here's the thing is although I see this fractal, the context is way different. And at the same time, technically structure is still bullish. Like this is just a range right here, right? And it's a range that, you know, is holding a pretty key level. Like this is a pretty clear level right here. So it could keep going up. Like in one sense it broke down, like this is a breakdown. But I would say the horizontal matters a little bit more than the vertical than the diagonal.
Oh yeah.
So like it's not necessarily a bearish chart, it just is so strange. That's the thing. But here's the deal too, is like, and this is not even fudding Sol. What could get more bullish for Sol than the president launching a shitcoin? Is there any greater catalyst than that?
No.
Like I can't think of anything that would be more bullish for Sol than that. So if Sol is kind of like the de facto, you know, shitcoin chain, and you had Donald Trump launch a shitcoin a couple days before he gets into office, is that peak sentiment on Solana, where on the opposing side of that you have peak despair for ETH?
Yeah.
How
Like,
much better can it get for Sol than that? And that's not bearish Sol USD. I'm just saying, like, what more are you expecting?
I think
USD.
that Sol BTC can run this quarter. I honestly think Sol BTC can challenge its all-time high. Do I think it can make an all-time high? Maybe, maybe not. But I think there's more to the Solana story still, because I think Sol USD is going to continue to perform. I'm not quite sure it will. I do think it will outperform Bitcoin. I'm not sure to what degree, but I think this pair is going to go higher. I think a lot of people, including myself, I see the resemblances to ETH BTC last cycle, but I think that this time is a little bit different, because I think cyclically we're not quite where we were on ETH BTC when we put it in the same pattern.
I agree.
What does Sol USD pair look like? Because yeah, so that's kind of got to resolve itself, because as of now, that's just a super predatory sweep of the highs. So that's got to resolve itself. But
I think Sol USD pair is good as long as it holds here. Like it's kind of like it still keeps doing the same, right? It's at do or die level, but it holds it and then continues. It held the August support, then it held this January support. Yeah, now this sweep is obviously like could be scary, but until it breaks lower, he expect the trend to continue.
Yeah. I think you just had a huge overextension of the upside. You're seeing it come back down, and unless you can't hold above like $240, you break back into the range. I'm leaning this pair is, or that USD price of Solana is going to continue to go higher, but it might take some consolidation at the end of this month, because we did give such a huge move. And I would almost be wondering if you have a lot of altcoins that are about to put in an equivalent move, maybe not quite as like, ferocious as Solana's was based on its market cap, but maybe for some of these things, it just kind of depends on, I think, what headlines we get here over the next probably 2 or 3 weeks.
Hang on, guys.
Oh no!
It's a quarter past soybean. Okay. We have on YouTube 730 people, and we have 270 likes. Are you kidding me?
that's ridiculous.
Guys, we're cooking today. There's 730 on YouTube, and there's another like 5,000 on X. And it's like the like button doesn't even exist today. Do I even need to explain? Like, you understand? Do you understand how bad that is? I mean, I take that personally. We live in a world that is dictated by mega cap tech overlords, and they have determined arbitrarily in a boardroom that the way that our channel gets boosted is by our audience, our supporters, just hitting a button. It's very overly simplified and it's unfair, but it's so important. And we're here cooking, hitting a lot of buttons, exhausting ourselves to bring this content, and we can't even have you move your finger to press a button. I mean, I'll move my finger and press a button, but it's going to pull up the soybean chart on the 5-second time frame Heikenhashi candles. And you don't want to see that. That's all that we need, guys. That's all that we need. Let's get to 400 likes. We got 730 on YouTube with 368 likes, guys. You might be thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm comfortable. I'm eating breakfast or lunch. I'm sitting here enjoying the show. Man, look, someone else will like it. There's plenty of people in here. I don't need to actually hit the like button. Like, I know someone else will do it, right? You don't want to be that guy, right? Don't wait for somebody else to do it for you. You go and do it. Don't ask what Market Check can do for you. Ask what you can do for Market Check.
Someone says YouTube pays you. That's enough.
No, they don't pay us shit, bro. We are unmonetized on YouTube.
Does he know?
Brother, we made the conscious decision to turn off all ad revenue on YouTube. We don't get paid $1 from YouTube because we didn't want to annoy you guys having to watch advertisements on our stuff. We wanted it to be about the content. And if you want to support us, you can either super chat or sign up for one of our offerings. We don't do any advertising. We don't do any paid shills, no advertising, none of that. Nothing. Zero. You guys know how much money we've turned down in ad deals in like the past year? Here's a hint. It's well over $1 million that we've literally just said straight up no to over the past year. $1 million, over 7 figures. Not even like $1 million flat, well over that. Straight up no. And we do that to remain an honest group of guys that you can trust. If we're talking about something, we're legitimately shoving money into it. Win or lose, you know that you can trust us. And all that we ask in return is you hit the like button. That's it.
Someone goes, that's a fumble.
How many did you accept, though? No, literally zero, bro.
Zach XPT would never.
Like zero. Like, literally have never accepted one. Like, zero. You should see my fucking DMs, bro. Like, we've never done one. We've done zero. I mean, how many people out there would turn down like easy 7 figures a year plus? Not many. And all that we ask is that you guys hit the like button. Yes, I'm guilting you into hitting the like button. It is what it is. All right, 420 likes. That's epic. That's nice. Epic.
All right.
420?
420 likes. That's good enough.
That's all right.
Good. That's plenty good. Thank you, guys. All right. So, I don't know. What do we want to talk about, man?
Can talk about,
now that I'm done guilting the audience into liking the stream.
Doge, DeFi. I mean, I think they're all thematically important given the events of the last like week or two with the president's wallet. I'm just going to ask, when is Trump going to be buying Pepe? That's the real question.
Tommy, what do we think of total DeFi here? Sorry, Jack. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that it would legit maybe even be better if Vitalik did it, as Max said. Like, I liked it. Like, that would send a message. It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
I think Vitalik's main issue is that he's, in his mind, he thinks he knows what's best for his product, when in reality, the market's trying to tell him something different.
Do you think the market is trying to bully Vitalik? Like,
well, I don't think they're trying to bully him. I think like they send him shit coins and he dumps them. which is basically him being like, I don't condone your activities for using my chain, my product this way. And like, look how it's biting him in the ass, right? But if we look at like total DeFi here, given the backdrop of, you know, Trump, basically, I mean, he's launching a DeFi platform, buying Ethereum, buying Aave, right? I can't help but look at this chart and be bullish. I can't help it. This is the total DeFi chart.
Jesus, DeFi is still at 123 billion. What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Like Trump is going to make finance on blockchain and DeFi is at 120 billion. Come on now.
This is a bullish chart, which is just inherently bullish Ethereum, right?
It is time, Bucko.
I think this looks good. I will always say that the biggest driver of Ethereum USD price action will be the growth of DeFi. There's no way that will not be the case going forward. So when you have the president participating in DeFi, you have the Ethereum Foundation dedicating, 50,000 ETH to DeFi going forward. I think that's a hugely positive signal, not just for DeFi itself, but also for ETH USD. So I do think that this is probably about to leg higher. And I love the double bottom confluence on a lot of these assets, right? You have a very easy pivot point to work off of. Sol, ETH, Pepe, DeFi, all of these large cap assets trying to carve out double bottoms. If you don't hold them, obviously the high time frame charts do not look so good. So you have a pretty clean invalidation to work off of as well. But sky is the limit if these break higher, right? Because they're threatening price discovery.
Sorry, go ahead, Louis.
No, I was just saying, you also don't have the SEC attacking DeFi anymore, right? That they've been literally attacking almost any product that offered any sort of yield using DeFi, right? That's just been the story the last 4 years. Basically, the end of Jay Clayton's tenure and the beginning of the whole tenure of Gary Gensler has been attacking basically any sort of DeFi that offered, yield or any sort of being your own bank style product. There's been nonstop attacked with lawsuits. So he's gone, right? He's out the door, right? We have a pro crypto SEC chairman coming in. And without that pressure, right, of literally being under attack for 4 years straight, companies being in fear and acting in fear of getting hit with a Wells notice. And also you have people fearful to invest because of that as well, right? Not only do the businesses have to have fear of that, but, these larger investors and larger institutions need to make sure that all risks are accounted for, and the SEC coming after and suing potential investment was one of those risks that we've had to deal with the last 4 years. So with Gary Gensler being gone and the SEC looks as if as now is going to be super pro crypto with the pro crypto presidency, if there's a time to shine for DeFi, it's now, right? So, and I think this nice consolidation and kind of coiling a price here for the total DeFi here is kind of telling the picture where this could be gearing up for a massive breakout to the upside soon. So everything's kind of lining up for it. It just needs to happen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think it kind of all comes back to Bitcoin being that trigger, but I don't know. I mean, this is bullish. Like, this looks bullish to me. It's a bit choppy, but I mean, come on now. Like, we're sitting on top of I mean, look, we mark up aggressively, from this range. So we mark up aggressively from this range. We're here for 8 months. We reestablish value. So like brief pause, and the market just asks, do we accept this as fair price for Bitcoin? And I think the answer is clearly yes. And now we're going to mark up to our next big range, right? Wherever that may be. It's simple. It's simple. Like, that's what the reason for this pause was, is what do we think the fair value, like buyers and sellers arguing, do we think this is fair value? Yes. All right, well, let's venture higher and see what happens. Yeah, I like this one, Jackus.
Let's keep it simple. You know, doesn't matter. This would be
I feel like
nice.
we're about to get a pro Bitcoin headline in the next like 2 days, probably.
The Bitcoin Strategic Reserve?
Yeah, I think so.
I saw a tweet today that potentially that there's 2 crypto focused executive orders potentially going to be signed today. So
Do you guys have you paid close attention to what those executive orders were? He said he's going to sign like 100 of them.
no idea.
I think I think it's anybody's guess what they are. We are getting something crypto related. I would say within like 48 hours, that news is going to come out. Anybody's guess what it is, right? I think given the positioning of the market, you want it to be super, super bullish, because then I think, you start to see some chasing. But in addition to that, obviously, front end volatility is pretty elevated, which we've seen in the past. That's either a tailwind or a headwind. It's going to come down to how big is the headline. If the headline's huge, it's going to be a tailwind. But of course, if the headline underwhelms, we could see maybe Bitcoin continue to chop up here, which would just be awful, truly. But I think they're not going to be buying an insignificant amount, or rather, yeah, it's definitely not like an insignificant amount of crypto that the Trump family is buying. I tend to think that you're going to get some pretty bullish legislation here.
Wait, guys, is this like a new flex? I have YouTube Premium. Is this a new flex?
I have YouTube Premium. I don't watch ads.
That's a new flex. Dude, I actually don't even pay for YouTube Premium. Like on our BB YouTube account that like we're running the stream on right now, if I go and rewatch, like if I just go and like watch a video, I like have to watch ads. Not on our channel because we don't have ads on it, but I'm just kind of like, huh. Or like a YouTube creator and they can't even give us like a premium, like a premium channel. That's kind of funny. Keeping everybody honest, I guess.
He's like, I'm no bucko. Please don't call me that.
Don't call me a bucko. I'm not a bucko.
I have YouTube Premium.
Honestly, I have to say, I used to watch a lot more YouTube before I started doing YouTube.
Now I agree with that, Louis.
Yeah, I used to like the only thing I would be doing is looking at charts and watching YouTube videos all day, just scouring the internet for alpha. And now I think I'm just at the point where like I know I have my skill set, I know what I'm doing, and I'm just locked in. And like obviously I speak and talk about crypto all day now. So now it's like I find myself not watching YouTube as much as I used to.
That's real.
Yeah.
You are the YouTube now.
I am the YouTube now. come full circle.
Be the content you want to see in the world, I guess.
That was my goal. I was like, I could do this. I could do it better. Like, here I am.
Well, I feel like you look at YouTube, most of the crypto related content is one of two things, right? It's either like way too dense to where people are not going to be able to understand it unless they're already pretty acutely familiar with who's presenting it, or it's so cringe. We all know what I'm talking about with like the thumbnails and all that stuff. Yeah, and BB is the perfect balance, man.
Like
the open mouse.
We got a great team presenting alpha for you guys in a way that's very digestible and actionable. So I like to think we're the best of both worlds.
What do you mean, Tommy? You do not like the open mouse layouts screens? Yeah. Like I feel every single video is looking like that nowadays.
Yeah. Or
what
like
we do is
pointing at the
we strive to hit that middle ground between like the real alpha is on X. So we try to hit that middle ground of like the X alpha gets brought to YouTube, but we don't compromise and do like the annoying YouTube grifter shit. So Louis, you're in trouble, bro.
Oh no.
Our head of graphic design is all over you,
The
bro.
open mouth.
Oh, he's gonna
I call
cook
it
you
the
on the next one.
I call it the butthole mouth.
Oh, the buckle.
Max, are you cooking up XRP bullish propaganda over there? I seen that.
I was. I mean, I don't see why XRP just doesn't. I mean, I don't know if it goes here or not. I mean, I could see like, maybe.
people forget XRP is the original meme coin.
Yeah. I mean, I could see this region, honestly. Like, why not?
That'd be crazy.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Kind of bullish XLM too. Like, this is an insane looking chart, man. I don't own any yet. But like, this trend line is not to be faded when it's broken, in my opinion.
My only thing with XLM is I don't like I look at the XLM XRP chart and it's like kind of the prototypical beta look, right? It's a perpetual downtrend, but you get these spikes that are all about timing. But other than that, holding XRP instead of XLM has been a winning strategy since 2021.
Yeah.
I think that this is kind of the region to buy it, though. Honestly, like this is it kind of does the same pattern every time. So, like I was looking at it like this, right? Because XRP is for sure better, right? Like not even. I'm just a beta junkie. That's literally it. Is I just love beta, but I mean, you can see that XLM does this little pattern where like, it'll like outperform blue dot, capitulate below the range low, red dot, and then like towards the end of the cycle, it will outperform. So like same thing last cycle. XLM pump.
In that case, I hope it doesn't outperform for a while.
Yeah. Well, we might be a little closer to like, not the end, but like we could get, an alt season for another 3 or 4 months. That can go pretty quickly and then cool off into the summer or something, Like I don't think that would be that crazy. I think the big difference about this cycle is will we get an extended cycle with, will we have like I hate to say super cycle, right? But like if we have the president like hard shilling crypto for 4 years straight, will we enter a new regime where we have like a bull market with an alt season and then we get like, a 40%, 50% correction and then they run it back again. And then like, 40, 50% correction, then they run it back again. Like, can it look different or be lengthened because we have the most powerful man in the world, literally like hard shilling crypto? So I don't know. I mean, I'll be mostly out of the market by that point. I won't see the best part probably, but
I mean, it's an inflection point. We can all agree on that. I think everybody, that is either bullish or bearish would agree with that. It's just a matter of, do you think that the president making a meme coin, buying all this crypto is a top signal, or do you think that it's, the sign that we see right before acceleration? I'm kind of leaning in the camp of the latter. I wouldn't be surprised, truthfully, though, to see either. But no, I'm definitely in the camp that it is a bullish catalyst here. But I'm definitely aware of, these are not early cycle things that we're seeing.
What do you mean by that?
Like the time is, we might be getting closer to acceleration here, but from a timing standpoint, we're on the clock. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions about XLM, and I think it'll do well. But XRP, I just think, has more bullish catalysts ahead of it. And if you are looking to, try to get exposure, or I guess, quote unquote, beta, on XRP, I usually recommend something like a tel coin, right? It's the same niche, right? It's a payments niche, and it's actually the size of a market cap where you can see outsized returns probably if the payments niche does well, right? So a lot of people are asking about XLM, and I keep regurgitating that, if you want some quote unquote XRP beta, look at Telcoin, couple $100 million market cap that has a US crypto company behind it. That's kind of my bet on XRP beta, not holding any XLM though.
I might pick some up.
Man.
I haven't yet, but I might.
It's at a good spot right now.
Guys, what do we think of Melania?
The meme
The coin?
Yeah, Melanie.
I think that it's not going to have the same type of incentive to bid it this cycle like Trump would.
Did you see the latest price action there?
No.
It has dropped significantly.
Yeah, I sold mine into, I put this in our Discord. I sold mine into more Trump. The reason is I don't think that anybody's going to give a shit about bidding Melania's meme coin where all we needed was Trump. Because, like, here's the thing. Trump is listed on every major centralized exchange. It's been the most successful meme coin to ever launch. It's super liquid. It's got huge volume every single day. You can trade it on perps, like every major exchange. And it's going to have this continual narrative where, I mean, Trump's the president, but he's also like the greatest cult leader of all time. And people don't care whether the ticker is Zebra or Trump. It doesn't matter. It's just the fact that it's an attention economy and it's super liquid and it's super volatile. And for that reason, traders are going to trade it, right? Under the name Trump. So I think that Trump is actually probably set up to be a really like actively traded ticker this entire cycle for that reason. And I just don't think Melania is like, why would anybody? That was clearly a money grab in my opinion. Like the Melania one, it's like, bro, there's no like energy around Melania. Like there's huge energy around Trump, and it's just going to continue to, how many attempts there's been at Trump coins over the past, year or two.
Yeah.
And now we have like an official one and it's listed everywhere immediately with huge volume. I mean, I made a little money on Melania and just shoved it into more Trump, and I'm just holding spot Trump, right? Because I'm sure it'll just pump hard again at some point. So
I feel bad for all those Trump coins that people were holding for like a year with the hope that Trump wins and they run, and instead he launches his own.
Let me tell you this, Jack. It's a cold world.
Reminds me of the Trump trading cards where he launched the second set and basically sent everybody's holdings down 80 to 90% on what should have been a no-brainer bet at the time, right? Like Trump trading cards from a guy who, a lot of people thought was going to be the next president. Odds were not really reflecting that at the time. And yeah, they got screwed. But it does kind of remind me of that, Jack, just a little bit. And I remember, I was trading that Trump MAGA coin a few times over the last year. It's one of those things sometimes coins go to zero. You're just glad you're not holding the hot potato at the end of the game.
Game of musical chairs. What happens when the music stops?
Max, is this the bottom for Pepe dominance?
Yes.
I didn't even realize there was a chart for Pepe dominance. That's interesting.
You want to know where the cycle top for Pepe is?
I like that. But I think those are small numbers in this ratchet. Maybe 6.9%.
Didn't Doge top at like 4.2%? Or like 2%?
You mean
Doge did something really crazy.
4.20%?
Yes. Let me see.
%. Exactly 4%.
How funny is that?
4. That's where BNB should have stopped.
I was asking myself yesterday, like still trying to figure out what the hell CZ meant by 4. It's a question I continue to ask myself.
Yeah. Maybe he meant $4 trillion. 4 trillion market capitalization for
For
BNB.
Bitcoin or for BNB.
It's currently at 100 billion.
So we're seeing filings already come in for more speculative altcoin bets. That's a big positive. I think what I want to also see, what we saw in the spring of 2021 was we saw a ton of liquid funds and retail pouring into altcoins. That volume speaks for itself. I mean, it's not just like perp driven pumps like a lot of what we've had this cycle. The flow on a lot of those altcoins was distinctly different. I want to see volume like that, man. And I think we're seeing the ETFs come in, right? We're just I think people are slowly going to dip their toe into the water and then dip it in probably a bit more aggressively. If you are a fund that might have underperformed last year, or you're just a fund with spare capital that you'd like to allocate, we want to see that capital come into crypto cyclically. The time makes sense. It's just a question of, are they finally going to do it? And it's like Max said at the start of the show, if the president, kind of taking the onus and going first, showing the way is not enough to get these people involved meaningfully within crypto, then what is? We dump on institutions, friends, not retail. Last cycle, we dumped on institutions. The degeneracy, your alt season was 3AC and FTX, really more than anything. The pump on Bitcoin was really from Grayscale and Genesis, and then altcoins were really 3AC and FTX. So if you want your alt season, you're not dumping on retail coming in to buy the coins, guys. You are dumping on institutions. Institutional FOMO, we'll call it.
This is probably what CZ meant. 4 more sweeps of the lows.
Will institutions buy our shit coins?
No,
so.
Nations. Taxpayers' money will.
Nations will be buying Pepe. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can. Listen to me. I really can. After last weekend, I can imagine anything because it's all a simulation. So
it really is. I was asking myself because like cyclically the timing is there, right? Like it's either now, the next few months, you're either going to see like an aggressive forward pricing bull market for crypto. And I was just kind of asking myself, like, what the hell would catalyze a decoupling from crypto versus TradFi? Because we've always just been, for the last 2 or 3 years, we've been very heavily correlated with TradFi. And so it's like, what's going to make us outperform relative to equities? Well, we kind of got the answer or a potential answer this weekend. I think you're right, Jack, is you can't really rule anything out at this point.
Yeah, that's the world Trump has created with the Trump coin launch. He said, anything is possible. You guys go and have fun. And the thing is that people will like, you can do anything and be like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Trump has done it.
Right. Yeah. Getting the vibes that they want crypto as a wild, wild west for a little longer, at least.
I agree with that.
Let the ecosystem kind of like let open market capitalism kind of do its thing, right? And just grow organically while there will be crime, I'm sure, right? But organically letting the ecosystem grow without trying to put too much regulation in the way, like we've seen, will allow that to happen. And they kind of started off like them doing that, right? Kind of gave the okay to like, all right, like it's an open free market,
Yeah, like to be fair, like Trump, I'm like everyone's shitting on Trump for doing that, right? And I also think that, it wasn't necessary at this stage. Like, I would be okay if he did it later on. But to be fair, he didn't do anything wrong, right? Like, he has a public social media and he launched his coin, and everyone is free to decide whether they want to buy it or not. He is not forcing anyone, and he is not using, so far at least, he is not using government power to purchase it. Like, that would be wrong. But as long as, he decides to launch it and then, maybe ruin his credibility with it, that's up to him and up to people. So we say crime, but technically this isn't a crime. Crime it would be if he used government basically power to purchase further coins with it or something, or use government to promote it, right, in some ways.
He had to fill his bag before he shilled with the government.
I'm just not liking it because it's going to incentivize lots of people to basically do the same right now, and I think that wasn't necessary at this stage of the cycle. Rather, what was needed was really to show the support for BTCs and the majors, and gradually build it up, and then do the big speculation at the end of it, right? Not like when we are where we are.
It'll backfire. I think that's the part. I mean, obviously people have been talking about it, but the bearish and bullishness of the last week will vary a lot by time frames. I think we all recognize at some point, if we're going to descend further and further into degeneracy, there will be an inevitable pendulum swinging back the other way. So, a lot of people will feel inclined to commit crime on the blockchain here over the next maybe 6 to 12 months. I would just say, don't lose sight of the forest through the trees. They will still, I don't think that you're going to be able to get away with it. That's just kind of my own personal take. But doesn't mean people aren't going to do it. But this is part of the cycle, right? Obviously the last alt season, the last Bitcoin crypto cycle had a lot to do with, big players ultimately committing crime. 3AC, FTX, Genesis, Grayscale, that they created the bull market. So, I mean, this is kind of natural cyclical things, but obviously we've never seen it quite to this scale for the space. So there will be a reckoning at some point. Don't lose sight of that. But I think for now we're still in the honeymoon phase.
Hey Tommy, what did John Brown say about Bitcoin and its price? Didn't John Brown say something?
He did.
110 to, what was it again? What? Help me out. Your memory's so much better than mine. Help me.
The path to 110K will be rigorous and difficult, but once we clear above that level, we should pretty much slice towards 200K. So,
oh yeah, that was it. Thanks for reminding me, Tommy. That's helpful. I appreciate that.
Of course,
Louis, you're an expert TA guy. Would you just help me? What do you think about this chart here?
Looks like Andy, right? Oh, we got Andy, but
I didn't say anything, Louis. I didn't say anything, bro. You're just assuming.
Yeah,
just looking at the candles,
yeah.
Do you think this is up or down?
Down.
With haste and vigor and aggression?
Yeah, this looks like the point where we dipped into an area where, there's no more dip left to be had. In this case, it was a pump, right? Into that origin of the move that we saw. And at this point, your risk reward is to the downside at this point. But it looks good and doing more of the same, right? Charts like to do more of the same if you know what to look for. And I think that's what we're seeing here.
So John Brown thinks 200K. And Louis thinks that this chart looks bearish. Okay. I know what I'm going to do.
But Bucko says it's cycle top.
Bucko's never right. Bucko can be right for a week, but Bucko never wins. Bucko never wins. But on that note, Tommy, it's the end of the show. Do us a solid. Take us out, brother.
We'll do that. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. It's a very exciting time to be in crypto, right? Whether you're in the camp that the cycle is topping because of this news, or you think that we're about to get into the true meat of things, it's pretty cool to see the developments that we've seen, in my opinion, over the last week or so. And I would like to think that it can get even crazier. Just depends on kind of what these headlines are going to look like, more or less, over these first few weeks. I'm sure we've got more coming down the pipe. But if you enjoyed the discussion that you heard today, you are excited about the future, maybe just a little bit uncertain about, what community that you're currently in, or how you're going to be able to maximize your gains potentially for this cycle, we have a few tools to be able to help you, and maybe even join the family, guys. The first of which being your go-to tool for the cycle, which is the BB terminal. Whether or not you are an active trader, trading lower time frames, trading derivatives, open interest data, something that I love to do, we've got the tool for you. Whether or not you are a long-term investor looking to make more educated decisions based on data, based on long-term trends within crypto, we have the tool for you as well. And of course, whether or not on-chain degen, a meme coiner, you love AI agents, maybe you even dabbled with Trump's coin this weekend, we'll soon have the tool for you as well. BB terminal, guys. As we always say, the prices of our products will go higher as the price of the market does. So make sure to pounce on that while you still can. And of course, we knew this, and we were nice enough to package the BB terminal together with your go-to source of alpha for this cycle, guys, which is our premium Discord. We will probably be raising the price here, not too distant future, just because the Discord is getting quite crowded. We've got a lot of people in there and a great community. So make sure to check that out as well, guys. We give 4 to 5 hours of daily calls. And of course, all our active thoughts on the market, at times even positioning. So check that out, linked in the description below. Of course, if you are interested in honing your educational base or even reaching trading level mastery, we have the course for you as well. So check out BB Academy, guys. It's invaluable to be able to learn from so many different styles of trading. As you guys know, we have a very diverse team of personalities and skill sets. Of course, if the volatility over the last few weeks was too much, if picking winners in this market is maybe a bit difficult, because let's be honest, both of those things can be very difficult. Within crypto, they have been for the last 2 or 3 years at least. Maybe you're interested in having the team manage capital for you. We have a solution for you as well, and that is BB Wealth Management, guys. We are an SEC registered hedge fund run by the Because Bitcoin team, and we operate in a way that looks to capture the asymmetric history of upside returns for digital assets while also balancing the downside risk posed in any financial market. So make sure to check that out in the description below. But yeah, if you enjoyed Market Check today, we'll be back for another episode tomorrow morning. Our typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time should be good. Hopefully we have some more fun news to be able to dissect with you all. But of course, do not forget Market Talk this afternoon, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, hosted by King Wabi. He does a great job with that show. He's had some really great insight on the market recently, and that is hosted through our Because Bitcoin X account as well as Wabi. So make sure to stay following and subscribe to both of those accounts so you can be notified when we schedule those spaces and also when we go live. That's it from us, though, guys. We hope that you have had a great last few days. Like I said, we've had a lot going on in this market. Probably going to get a little bit crazier here in the near term, I have to imagine, but exciting times for sure. We'll be here to cover it with you all when we come back tomorrow. But until then, guys, thank you again, as always. And of course, stay safe.